to procure my fall, and buy the doom of death, and woes and all.
Merchant of Syracuse, plead no more. I am not partial to infringe our laws. The enmity and discord which of late sprung from the rancorous outrage of your duke towards merchants, our well-dealing countrymen, who, wanting guilders to redeem their lives, have sealed his rigorous statutes with their bloods, excludes all pity from our threatening looks. For since the mortal intestine jars twixt thy seditious countrymen and us, it hath in solemn synods been decreed, by both the Syracusans and ourselves, to admit no traffic from our adverse towns. Nay, more. If any of Ephesus born be seen at any Syracusan marts and fairs, again, if any Syracusan born come to bay at Ephesus, he dies. His goods confiscate to the duke's dispose, unless 1,000 marks be levied to quit the penalty and ransom him. Thy substance, valued at the highest rate, cannot amount to 100 marks. Therefore, by law, thou art condemned to death.
Yet this my comfort, when thy words are done, my woes and likewise with the evening sun.
Well, Syracusan, say in brief why thou departest from thy native home, and for what cause thou camest to Ephesus.
A heavier task could not have been imposed than I to speak my griefs unspeakable. Yet, that the world may witness that my end was wrought by nature, and not by vile offense, I'll utter what my sorrows give me leave. In Syracuse was I born, and wed, unto a woman, happy, but for me, and by me had not our hap been bad. With her I lived in joy, our wealth increased by prosperous voyage I often made to Epidamnum, till my factor's death, and the great care of goods at random left, drew me from kind embracements of my spouse, from whom my absence was not 6 months long, before herself, almost a fainting under the pleasing punishment that women bear, made provision for her following me, and soon and safe arrived where I was. There had she not been long, but she was a joyful mother of 2 goodly sons, and, which was strange, the one so like the other, as could not be distinguished, but by name. That very hour, in the self-same inn, a meaner woman was delivered of such a burden. Male twins, both alike. Those, for the parents were exceeding poor, I bought and brought up to attend my sons. My wife, not meanly proud of 2 such boys, made daily motions for our home return. Unwilling I agreed. Alas, too soon we came aboard. A league from Epidamnum we sailed, before the always window being dinged, gave any tragic instance of our harm. But longer do we not retain much hope. For what obscure light the heavens didst grant, didst but convey unto our fearful minds a doubtful warrant of immediate death, which, though myself would gladly have embraced, yet the incessant weepings of my wife, who mourned before for what she saw must come, and piteous plainings of the pretty babes, that mourn for passion, ignorant what to fear, forced me to seek delays for them and me. And this it was, for other means was done. The sailors sought for safety by our boat, and left the ship, then sinking right, to us. My wife, more careful for the latter born, had fastened him unto a small spare mast, such as seafaring men provide for storms. To him one of the other twins was bound, whilst there had been like heedful of the other. The children thus disposed, my wife and I, fixing our eyes on whom our care was fixed, fastened each other at either end of the mast, and floating straight, obedient to the stream, was carried towards Corinth, as we thought. At length the sun, gazing upon the earth, dispersed those vapors that offended us, and by the benefit of his wished light, the sea waxed calm. And we discovered 2 ships before making main to us. Of Corinth that, of Epidaurus this, where there they came. Oh, let me say no more. Gather the sequel by that went before.
Nay, forward, old man, do not break off so, for we may pity, though not pardon thee.
How had the gods done so? I'm not now worthily termed they merciless to us. For ere we could meet by twice 5 leagues, we were encountered by a mighty rock, which being violently bored upon, our helpless ship was splitted in the midst. So that, in this unjust divorce of us, fortune and left to both of us alike, what to delight in and what to sorrow for. Her part, poor soul, seeming as burdened with less a weight, but not with lesser woe, was carried with more speed before the wind, and in our sight they three were taken up by fishermen of Corinth. At length we had been seized upon by another ship, and, knowing who it was we had to save, gave healthful welcome to the shipwrecked guests, and would have reft the fishers of their prey, and not their bark, but very slow sail, and therefore onward did they bend the course. Thus have you heard me severed from my bliss, that by misfortunes was my life prolonged, to tell sad stories of my own mishaps.
And for the sake of them thou sorrowest for, do me the favor to dilate it full, what hath befallen of them and thee till now.
My youngest son, and yet my eldest care, at 18 years became inquisitive after his brother, and it betune me that his attendant, so his case was like, reft of his brother, but retained his name, might bear him company in the quest of him, whom, whilst I laboured of a love to see, I hazarded the loss of whom I loved. 5 summers have I spent in furthest Greece, rowing clean through the bounds of Asia, and, coasting homeward, came to Ephesus, hopeless to find, yet loath to leave unsought, or that, or any place to harvest men. But here must end the story of my life, and happy were I in my timely death, could all my travels reward me they live.
Hapless Aegeon, whom the fates have marked, to bear the extremity of dire mishap. Now, trust me, we're not against my laws, against my crown, my dignity, which princes would they could not disannul. My soul would sue as advocate for thee. But since thou art condemned to death, and past sentences may not be recalled, but to our honor's great disparagement. Yet, I'll favor thee in what I can. Therefore, I'll lend thee this day, to seek thy life by beneficial help. Try all the friends thou hast in Ephesus, beg thee, or borrow, to make up the sum, and live. If no, then thou art condemned to death. Jailer, take him to thy custody.
I will, my lord.
Hopeless and hapless doth Aegeon wend, but to procrastinate his lifeless end.
Therefore give out you are of Epidamnum, lest that your goods too soon be confiscated. This very day Syracusan merchants apprehended for arrival here, and not being able to buy out his life, according to the statute, thou fear the weary sun is set in the west. There is your money that I had to.
Go, bear it to the centaur, where we host, and stay there, Dromio, till I come to thee. Within this hour it will be dinner time. Till then, I'll view the manners of the city, peruse the traders, and gaze upon the buildings, for with long travel I am stiff and weary. Get thee away!
Many a man would take you at your word, and go indeed, having so good a mean.
A trusty villain, sir, that very oft when I am dull with care and melancholy, lightens my humor with his merry jests. What? Will you walk with me about the town, and then go to my inn and dine with me?
I am invited, sir, to certain merchants, of whom I hope to make much benefit. I crave your pardon. Soon, at 5 o'clock, please you, I'll meet you upon the mart and consort you to bedtime. My present business calls me from you now.
Farewell till then. I will go and lose myself, and wander up and down to view this city.
Sir, I commend you to your own content.
He that commends me to mine own content commends me to the thing I cannot get. I to the world am like a drop of water that in the ocean seeks another drop, who, falling there to find his fellow forth, unseen, inquisitive, confounds himself. So I, to find a mother and a brother, in quest of them, unhappy lose myself. Here comes the almanac of my true date. What now? How chance thou art returned so soon?
Return so soon? Rather approach too late. The capon burns. The pig falls from the spit. The clock has struck 12 upon the bell. My mistress made it 1 upon my cheek. She is hot because the meat is cold. The meat is cold because you come not home. You come not home because you have no stomach. You have no stomach, having broke your fast. But we that know what it is to fast and pray are penitent for your default today.
Stop in your wind, sir, I pray you, and tell me this. Where is the money that I gave to thee?
Oh, 6 pence that I had a Wednesday last to pay the saddler for my mistress' crupper? The saddler had it, sir. I kept it not.
I am not in a sports of humor now. Tell me, and dally not, where is the money? We being strangers in this town, how darest thou trust so great a charge from thine own custody?
I pray you ere, sir, as you sit at dinner. I from my mistress come to you in post. If I return, I shall be post indeed, for she will score your fault upon my pay. Methinks your maw like mine should be your clock, and strike you home without a messenger.
Come, Dromio, come. These jests are out of season. Reserve them till a merrier hour than this. Where is the gold I gave in charge to thee?
To me, sir? Why, you gave no gold to me.
Come on, sir knave, have done your foolishness, and tell me how thou hast disposed of thy charge.
My charge was but to fetch you from the mart, home to your house, the Phoenix, sir, to dinner. My mistress and her sister stays for you.
In what safe place you have bestowed my money, or I will break that merry sconce of yours that stands on tricks when I am undisposed. Where are the 1,000 marks thou hadst from me?
I have some marks of yours upon my pate, some of my mistress' marks upon my shoulders, but not 1,000 marks between you both. If I should pay your worship those again, perchance you will not bear them patiently.
Thy mistress marks? What mistress, slave, hast thou?
Your worship's wife, my mistress at the Phoenix, she that doth fast till you come home to dinner, and prays that she will hie you home to dinner.
What? Wilt thou flout me thus unto my face, being forbid? There! Take thou that, sir knave!
What mean you, sir? For God's sake, hold your hand! Nay, and you will not. I'll take my heels!
Upon my life, by some device or other, that villain is overwrought of all my money. They say this town is full of cozenage, as nimble jugglers that deceive the eye, dark-working sorcerers that change the mind, soul-killing witches that deform the body, disguised cheaters, prating mountebanks, and many such like liberties of sin. If this be so, I will be gone the sooner. I'll to the centaur to seek this slave. I greatly fear my money is not safe.
Sure, Luciana, it is 2 o'clock. Perhaps some merchant hath invited him, and from the mart he's somewhere gone to dinner. Good sister, let us dine, and never fret. A man is master of his liberties, and time is their master. When they see time, they will come or go. Till then, be patient. Why should their liberty than ours be more? Because their business still lies out of door. Look, when I serve him so, he takes it ill. Oh, no, he is the bridle of your will. There's none but asses will be bridled so. Why, headstrong liberty is lashed with woe. There's nothing sicker under heaven's eye, but hath its bound in earth and sea and sky. The beasts, the fishes, and the winged fowls are subject to their males and at their controls. Men more divine than all of these, lords the wide world and wild watery seas. Endued with intellectual sense and souls, or more preeminence than fish and fowls, are masters to their females and their lords. So then, at your will, attend on their accords. This servitude keeps you unwed. Not this, but troubles of the marriage bed. But were you wed, you would bear some sway. Ere I learn love, all practice to obey. How, if your husband starts some other where? Till he come home again, I would forbear. Patience unmoved. No marvel though she we burdened with light weight of pain, as much or more would we ourselves complain. So thou that hast no unkind mate to grieve thee, this helpless patience wouldst relieve me. But if thou live to see light right bereft, those full-begged patience in thee will be left.
Well, I will marry someday, but to try. Here's your man. Now your husband is nigh.
Say, is your toady master now at hand?
Nay, he's at 2 hands with me. And that my 2 ears can witness.
Didst thou speak with him? Knowest thou his mind?
Aye, aye, he told his mind upon mine ear. But shrew his hand, I scarce could understand it.
Spake he so doubtfully thou couldst not feel his meaning?
Nay, he spoke so plainly I could too well feel his blows. And withal so doubtfully that I could scarce understand them.
But say, I prithee, is he coming home? It seems he has great care to please his wife.
Why, mistress, sure my master is horn mad.
Horn mad, thou villain!
When I desired him to come home to dinner, he asked me for 1,000 marks in gold. 'Tis dinner time, quoth I. My gold, quoth he. Your meat doth burn, quoth I. My gold, quoth he. Will you come home, quoth I. My gold, quoth he. Where is the 1,000 marks I gave thee, villain? The pig, quoth I, is burned. My gold, quoth he. My mistress, sir, quoth I. Hang up thy mistress. I know not thy mistress. Out on thy mistress.
Who?
Quoth my master. I know, quoth he, no house, no wife, and no mistress. So that my errand due unto my tongue, I thank him, I bear him upon my shoulders. For in conclusion, he did beat me there.
Go back again, thou slave, and fetch him home.
Go back again? And be no beaten home? For God's sake, send some other messenger.
Back, slave, or I will break thy pate.
And he will bless that cross with another beating. Between the 2 of you, I shall have a holy head.
Hence, pretty peasant, fetch thy master home.
Am I surrounded with you as you with me? And like a football you do spurn me thus? You will spurn me hence, and he will spurn me hither. My last in this service, you must case me in leather.
Patience, Lord, in thy face.
His company muster his minion's grace, whilst I at home stall for a merry look. Hath homely age the alluring beauty took from my poor cheek? Then he hath wasted it. Are my discourses dull? Barren my wit. If voluble and sharp discourse be marred, unkindness blunts it more than marble hard. Do their gay vestments his affections bait? That's not my fault. He is master of my state. What ruins are in me that can be found, by him not ruined? Then he is the ground of my defutures. My decayed fair, sunny look of his would soon repair. But too unruly dear, he breaks the pale, and feeds from home poor I am but a stale.
Self-harming jealousy. Fine, beat it hence.
Unfeeling fools can with such wrongs dispense. Sister, you know he promised me a chain. With that alone he would detain. So he would keep fair quarter with his bed. I see the jewel best enameled will lose its beauty. Yet the gold bides still, and others touch, and often touching will wear gold. And no man that hath a name, by falsehood or corruption doth it shame. Since then my beauty cannot please his eye, oh, weep what's left and in weeping die.
How many fond fools serve mad jealousy?
The gold I gave to Dromio is laid up safe at the Centaur, and the heedful slave has wandered forth and cared to seek me out. By computation and mine host's report, I could not speak with Dromio since at first I sent him from the mart. See, here he comes. How now, sir? Is your merry humor altered? As you love strokes, so jest with me again.
What answer, sir? When spake I such a word?
Even now, even here, not half an hour since. You know no gold? You know no centaur? My house was at the Phoenix? Wast thou mad, that thus so madly thou didst answer me?
I did not see you since you sent me hence. home to the centaur, with the gold you gave me.
Villain, thou didst deny the gold received, and told me of a mistress and a dinner, for which I hope thou feltst I was displeased.
I am glad to see you in this merry vein. What means this jest? I pray you, master, tell me.
Yea, dost thou jeer and flout me in the teeth? Thinkest thou I jest? Hold! Take thou that!
Hold, sir! For God's sake! Now your jest is in earnest. Upon what bargain do you give it me?
Because that I familiarly do sometimes chat with you and use you for my fool, your sauciness will jest upon my love and make a common of my serious hours. When the sun shines, let foolish gnats make sport, but creep in crannies when he hides his beams. If you will jest with me, know my aspect, and fashion your demeanors to my looks. Else, I will beat this method in your sconce.
Sconce, call you it? So you would leave battering. I would have it ahead. Else I should get a sconce for my head, and ensconce it too. Else I should look for my wit in my shoulders. But pray, sir, why am I beaten?
Dost thou not know?
Nothing, sir, but that I am beaten.
Shall I tell you why?
Aye, and wherefore? For they say every why hath a wherefore.
Why first? For flouting me! And then wherefore? For urging it the second time to me!
Was there ever man thus beaten out of season, when in the why and the wherefore there is neither rhyme nor reason? Well, sir, I thank you.
Thank me, sir, for what?
Marry, sir, for this something that you gave me for nothing.
I'll make amends next, and give you nothing for something. But pray, sir, is it dinner time?
No, I think the me wants that I have.
In good time, sir. What's that?
Basting.
Well, sir, then 'twill be dry.
If it be, sir, I pray you, eat none of it,
Your reason?
lest it make you choleric, and purchase me another dry basting.
Well, sir, learn to jest in good time. There's a time for all things.
I durst have denied that before you were so choleric.
By what rule, sir?
Marry, sir, by a rule as plain as the plain bald pate of Father Time himself.
Let's hear it.
There's no time for man to recover hair that grows bald by nature.
May he not do it by fine and recovery?
Yes, to pay a fine for a periwig and recover the lost hair of another man.
Why is time such a niggard of hair, being, as it is, so plentiful in excrement?
Because it is a blessing he bestows on beasts, and what he has scanted men in hair, he hath given them in wit.
Why, but there's many a man that hath more hair than wit.
Not a man of those, but hath the wit to lose his hair.
Why, thou didst conclude hairy men plain dealers without wit.
The plainer dealer, the sooner lost. Yet he loseth it in a kind of jollity.
For what reason?
For two, and sound ones, too.
Nay, not sound, I pray you.
Sure ones, then.
Nay, not sure, in a thing falsing.
Certain ones, then.
Name them.
The one, to save the money he spends in trimming. The other, that at dinner they may not fall in his porridge.
You would all this time have proved there is no time for all things.
And did, sir. Namely, no time to recover hair lost by nature.
But your reason was not substantial. Why there is no time to recover?
Thus I mend it. Time is bald, and therefore, to the end of time, we'll have bald followers.
I knew 'twould be a bald conclusion. But soft. Who wafts us yonder?
I, Antipholus, look strange and frown. Some other mistress has thy sweet aspects. I am not Adriana nor thy wife. The time was once when thou unurged wast thou. There never words were music to thine ear. There never object pleasing in thine eye. There never touch were welcomed in thy hand. There never meat sweet savored in thy taste. Unless I spake, or looked, or touched, or carved to thee. How comes it now, my husband? Oh, how comes it that thou dost feel estranged from thyself? Thyself, I being call it strange to me, that undividable, incorporate, and better than thy dear self set apart. Ah, do not tear thyself away from me, for know my love as easy mayest thou fall, a drop of water from the breaking gulf, and take unmingled that same drop again, without addition or diminishing, as take from me thyself and not me too. Keep then for a league, in truth with thy true bed, I live unstained, thou undishonored.
Plead you to me, fair dame? I know you not. In Ephesus I am but 2 hours old, and as strange unto your town as to your talk, who, every word by all my wit being scanned, want wit and all but one word to understand.
Fie, brother, how the world has changed with you. When were you wont to use my sister thus? She did send for you, by Dromio, home to dinner.
By Dromio?
By me?
By thee, and thou didst return for him, saying that he did buffet thee, and in his blows denied my house for his, and for his wife.
Did you, sir, converse with this gentlewoman? What is the course and drift of your compact?
Sir, I never saw her till this time.
Villain, thou liest! For her very words didst thou deliver to me on the mart.
I never spake with her in all my life.
How then can she call us by our own names? Unless it be by inspiration.
How ill agrees it with your gravity, to counterfeit thus grossly with thy slave, betting him to thwart me in mine rude. Being my wrong, you offer me exempt, for wrong not thy wrong from a more content. Come, I will fasten on the sleeve of thine. Thou art an elm, my husband, I am a vine, whose meekness is married to thy stronger state, makes me with thy strength to communicate. If aught possesses thee for me, it is dross, usurping ivy, briar, or idle moss, who all for want of pruning and intrusion, infect thy sap and live on thy confusion.
To me she speaks. She moves me for her theme. What? Was I married to her in a dream? Or sleep I now and think I hear all this? What error drives our eyes and ears amiss? Until I know this sure uncertainty, I'll entertain the offered fallacy.
Oh, for my beads! I cross myself a sinner. This is fairyland. Oh, spite of spites. We talk with goblins, owls, sprites. If we do not obey them, this will ensue. They'll suck our breath and pinch us black and blue.
Why, prate thyself and answerest not. Dromio, thou drone, thou snare, thou slut, thou sot.
Master, I am transformed. Am I not?
I think thou art in mind, and so am I.
Nay, both in mind and in shape.
Thou hast thine own form.
No, I am an ape.
If we want to change to aught, 'tis to an ass.
'Tis true. She rides me, and I long for grass. I am an ass, else it could never be. But I know her, as well as she knows me.
Come, come, no longer will I be a fool, to put the finger in the eye and weep, whilst men and master laugh my woes to scorn. Come, sir, to dinner. Dromio, keep the gate. My husband, I'll dine above with you today, and strive with 1,000 idle praise. Sirrah, if any ask for your master, say he dines forth, and let no creature enter. Come, sister, Dromio, play the porter well.
Am I in earth? In heaven? Or in hell? Sleeping or waking? Mad or well advised? Known unto these, but to myself disguised. I'll do as they say, and persever so, and in this mist at all adventures go.
Master, shall I be a porter at the gate?
Aye, and let none enter, lest I break your pate.
Come, Conrad, it must be done too late.
Good Signor Angelo, you must excuse us all. My wife is shrewish when I keep not hours. Say that I lingered with you at your shop to see the making of her carcanet, and that tomorrow you will bring it home. But here's a villain that will face me down. He met me on the mart, and that I beat him, and charged him with 1,000 marks in gold, and that I did deny my wife and house. Thou drunkard, thou, what dost thou mean by this? Say what you will, sir, but I know what I know. That you beat me at the mart. I have your hand to show. If the skin were parchment and the blows you gave were ink, your own handwriting would tell you what I think. I think thou art an ass. Marry, so it doth appear, by the wrongs I suffer and the blows I bear. I should kick being kicked, and being at the pass, you would keep from my hills, and beware of an ass. You're sad, Signor Angelo. Pray God, our cheer, may answer your goodwill, your my goodwill, and your good welcome here.
I hold your dainties cheap, sir, and welcome here.
Oh, Signor Angelo, either at flesh or fish. A table full of welcome makes scarce one dainty dish.
Good meat, sir, is common, that every churl affords.
And welcome more common, for that's nothing but words.
Small cheer and great welcome make a merry feast.
I, to a niggardly host, and more sparing guest. But though my cates be mean, take them in good part. Better cheer may you have, but not with better heart. But soft, the door's locked. Go, bid them let us in. Maud, Bridget, Marriott, Cecil, Julian, Chip.
Home, Waldhorse, Capon, Coxcomb, Idiot, Hatch. Either get thee from the door, or sit down at the hatch. Dost thou conjure for wenches, that thou callest for such store? When one is one too many. Go, get thee from the door.
What patch is made of our porter? My master stays within the street.
Let him walk from whence he came, lest he catch cold on his feet.
Who talks within there? Ho! Open the door!
I'll tell you when, and you tell me wherefore.
Wherefore? For my dinner. I have not dined today.
Nor today, here you must not. Come again when you may.
What art thou that keepest me out from the house I owe?
The porter for this time, sir, and my name is Dromio.
Oh, villain, thou hast stolen both mine office and my name. The one ne'er got me credit, the other mickle blame. If thou hadst been Dromio today in my place, thou wouldst have changed thy face for a name or thy name for an ass. Do you hear, you minion? You'll let us in, I hope. Master, knock the door hard.
Let him knock till it ache.
You'll cry for this, minion, if I beat the door down.
Who is that at the door that keeps all this noise?
By my troth, your town is full of unruly boys.
Are you there, wife? You might have come before.
Your what, sir knave? Go, get thee from the door!
If you were in pain, master, this knave would go sore.
Here is neither cheer, sir, nor welcome. We would fain have either. In debating which was best, we shall part with neither.
He stands at the door, master. Bid him welcome hither. There's something in the wind that we cannot get in. You would say so, master, if your garments were thin. Your cake there is warm within. You stand here in the cold. It would make a man mad as a buck to be so bought and sold. Go fetch me something. I'll break open the gate.
Break any breaking here, and I'll break your knave's pate.
A man may break a word with you, sir, and words are but wind. Aye, and break it in your face, so that he break it not behind.
It seems thou want'st of breaking. Out on thee, hind.
Here's too much out on thee. I pray thee let me in.
Aye, when fowls have no feathers, and fish have no fin.
Well, break it. Go, borrow me a crow. A crow without a feather? Master, mean you so? For a fish without a fin, there's a fowl without a feather. If a crow will help us in, sir, we'll pluck a crow together. Go get thee God. Fetch me an iron crow.
Have patience, sir. Let it not be so. Herein you war against your reputation, and draw within the compass of the suspect the unviolated honor of your wife. Once this, your long experience of her wisdom, her sober virtue, years and modesty, plead on her part, some cause you unknown. And doubt not, sir, that she will well excuse why at this time the doors are made against you. Be ruled by me. Depart in patience, and let us all to the Tiger for dinner. And about evening, come yourself alone, to know the reason of this strange restraint. If by strong hand you offer to break in now, in the stirring passage of the day, a vulgar comment will be made of it, and that supposed by the common route, against your yet unvulgar estimation, that may with all intrusion enter in and dwell upon your grave when you are dead. For slander lives upon succession, forever housed or gains possession.
You have prevailed. I will depart in quiet, and in despite of mirth, mean to be merry. I know a wench of excellent discourse, pretty and witty, wild, and yet too gentle. There will we dine. Get you home, sir, and fetch the chain. By this I know 'tis made. Bring it, sir, I pray you, to the Porpentine, for there's the house. The chain will I bestow, be for nothing but to spite my wife, upon mine hostess. Go, good sir, make haste. Since my own doors refuse to entertain me, I'll knock elsewhere to see if they'll disdain me.
I'll meet you at that place some hour hence.
Do so. This jest shall cost me some expense.
And shall it be that thou hast quite forgot a husband's office? Shall intercourse, even in the spring of love, by love springs wrought, should love in building grow so ruinous? If you did wed my sister for her wealth, then for her wealth's sake use her with more kindness. Or, if you like elsewhere, do by stealth, muffle your false love with some show of blindness. Let not my sister read it in thy eye, let not thy tongue be thy own shame's orator. Look sweet, be fair, become disloyalty. A pale vice, like virtue's harbinger. Bear a fair presence, though your heart be tainted. Teach sin, the carriage of a holy saint. Be secret false. What need she be acquainted? What simple thief brags of his own attaint? 'Tis double long to trench with your bed, and let her read it in thy looks at board. Shame hath a bastard fame, well managed. Ill deeds are doubled with an evil word. Alas, poor woman, make us but believe, being compact of credit, that you love us. If another has the arm, show us the sleeve. We in your motion turn, and you may move us. Then, gentle brother, get ye in again. Comfort my sister, cheer her, call her life. 'Tis a holy sport to be a little vain, and this sweet breath of flattery conquers strife.
Sweet mistress, what your name is else I know not. lessen your knowledge and your grace. You show not than our earth's wonder, more than earth divine. Teach me, dear creature, how to speak and think. Lay open to my earthy gross conceit, smothered in errors, feeble, shallow, weak, the folded meaning of your words' deceit. Against my soul's pure truth, why labor you to make it wander in an unknown field? Are you a god? Would you create me new? Transform me then, and to your power I'll yield. But if that I am I, then well I know your weeping sister is no wife of mine. Nor to her bed no homage do I owe. Far more to you do I decline. Oh, train me not, sweet mermaid, with thy note, to drown myself in thy sister's flood of tears. Sing, siren, for thyself, and I will dote. Spread o'er the silver waves thy golden hairs, and as a bed I'll take them, and there lie. And in that glorious supposition think, he gains by death that hath such means to die. Let love, being light, be drowned if she sink.
What? Are you mad that thou hast reason so?
Not mad, but mated. How I do not know.
It is a fault that springeth from thy eye.
From gazing at your beams, fair sun, being by.
Gaze where you should, and that will clear your sight.
As good to wink sweet love as look on night.
Why call you me love? Call my sister so.
Thy sister's sister.
That's my sister.
No, it is thyself. Mine own self's better part. My eye's clear eye. My dear heart's dearer heart. My food, my fortune, my sweet Ote. My soul earth's heaven, and my heaven's clay.
This my sister is, or should be.
Call thyself sister sweet. For I am thee. Thee will I love, and with thee lead my life. Thou hast no husband yet, nor I no wife. Give me your hand.
Oh, soft, sir. Hold still. I'll fetch my sister to get her goodwill.
Why, how now, Dromio? Where runnest thou so fast?
Am I Dromio? Am I your man? Am I myself?
Thou art Dromio. Thou art my man. And thou art thyself.
I am an ass. I am a woman's man, and beside myself.
What woman's man? And how besides thyself? Besides thyself?
Marry, sir, I am due to a woman. One that claims me. One that haunts me. One that will have me.
What claim lays she to thee?
Such a claim, sir, as you would lay to your horse. She would have me as a beast. Not that I, being a beast, she would have me. But that she, being a very beastly creature, lays claim to me.
Well, what is she?
Oh, sir, a reverent body. Such a one as man does not speak of without he say, Sir Reverence. I have lean luck in the match, yet she is a wondrous fat marriage.
What dost thou mean of fat marriage?
She's the kitchen wench, and all grease. I know not what use to put to her, but to make a lamp of her, and run from her by her own light. Her rags, and the tallow in them, would burn a Poland winter. If she lives till doomsday, she'll burn a week longer than the rest of the world.
What complexion is she of?
Swart, like my shoe, though nothing half so clean kept. Why? She sweats. A man may go over shoes in the grime of it.
That's a fault that water will mend.
No, 'tis in grain. Noah's flood could not do it.
What is her name?
Nell, sir. And her name in 3/4, that's an L and 3/4, could not measure her from hip to hip.
Then she bears some breadth.
No longer from head to foot, than from hip to hip. She's spherical. Like a globe.
Ha!
I can find out countries in her.
In what part of her body stands Scotland?
I found it by the Baroness, in the palm of her hand.
Where France?
In her forehead, armed and reverted, waging war against its heir.
Where England?
I looked for the bulky cliffs, but could find no whiteness in them. I guess it stood in her chin, by the salt room that ran between France and it.
Ha! Where's Spain?
Faith, I saw it not, but felt it hot in her breath.
Where America? The Indies?
Oh, sir, in her nose, all o'er embellished with rubies, carbuncles, sapphires, declining their rich aspect to the hot breath of Spain, who sent whole armados of carracks to be ballast at her nose. To conclude, this drudge or diviner laid claim to me, called me Dromio, swore I was assured to her, told me what privy marks I had, as the mark on my shoulder, the mole in my neck, the great wart on my left arm, that I, amazed, ran from her as a witch. If my breast had not been made of faith, and my heart of steel, I think she had transformed me to a curl dog, and made me turn of the wheel.
Go, hie thee presently post to the road, and if the wind blows any way from shore, I will not harbor in this town tonight. If any bark put out, come to the mark, where I will walk till thou return to me. If everyone knows us, and we know none, 'tis time, I think, to trudge, pack, and be gone.
As man from bear would run for fear of life, so I run from her that would be my wife.
There's none but witches do inhabit here. And therefore, 'tis high time that I were hence. She that doth call me husband, even my soul doth for a wife abhor. But her fair sister, possessed with such a gentle, sovereign grace, of such enchanting presence and discourse, hath almost made me traitor to myself. But, lest myself be guilty to self-wrong, I'll stop mine ears against the mermaid's song.
Master Antipholus.
Aye, that's my name.
I know it well, sir. Lo, here's the chain. I thought to have taken you on the porpentine. The chain of finished made me stay thus long.
your will that I should do with this?
What pleased yourself, sir. I've made it for you.
Made it for me, sir. I bespoke it not.
Not once, nor twice, but 20 times you have. Go home and please your wife all, and soon at supper time I'll visit you, and then receive my money for the chain.
I pray you, sir, receive the money now, for fear you ne'er see chain nor money more.
You're a merry man, sir. Fare you well.
What I should think of this, I cannot tell. But this I think, there is no man is so vain that would refuse so fair an offered chain. I see a man here need not live by shifts, when in the streets he meets such golden gifts. I'll to the mart, and there for Dromio stay. If any ship puts out, then straight away.
We will now have a 10-minute intermission. Thank you.
You know, since Pentecost the sum is due. And since I have not much entertained you, nor now I had not, but that I am bound to Persia, and want guilders for my voyage, therefore make present satisfaction, or I'll attach you by this officer.
Even just the sum that I do owe to you is growing to me by Antipholus, and in the instant I met with you, he handed me a chain. At 5 o'clock I shall receive the money for the same. Please, if you walk with me down to his house, I will discharge my bond and thank you too.
That labor may you save. See where he comes.
While I go to the goldsmith's house, go thou and buy a rope's end. That will I bestow among my wife and her confederates, for locking me out of my doors by day. But soft, I see the goldsmith. Get thee gone. Buy that rope and bring it home to me. I buy 1,000 pounds a year. I buy a rope. A man is well hold up that trusts in you. I promised your presents and the chain, but now the chain no goldsmith came to me. But like you thought a love would last too long, if it were chained together, and therefore came not.
Saving your merry humor, here's a note. How much your chain weighs to the utmost carat, the finest of gold and chargeable fashion, which does amount to 3 odd ducats, more than I stand debted to this gentleman. I pray you see him presently discharged, for he is bound to sea, and stays but for it.
I'm not furnished with the present money. Besides, I have some business in the town. Good senor, take the stranger to my house, and with you take the chain, and bid my wife disperse the sum on the receipt thereof. Perchance I will be there as soon as you.
Then you will take the chain here yourself?
No, bring it with you, lest I come not time enough.
Well, sir, I will. Have you the chain about you?
And if I not, sir, I hope you have, or else you may return without your money.
Nay, come, I pray you, sir, give me the chain. Both wind and tide stays for this gentleman, and I to blame have held him here too long.
Good Lord, you use this dalliance to excuse your breach of promise to the porpentine. I should have chid you for not bringing it, yet, like a shrew, you first begin to brawl.
The hour steals on, I pray you, sir. Dispatch!
You hear how he importuned me, the chain.
Why, bring it to my wife and fetch your money.
Come, come, you know I give it to you even now.
Fie, now you run this humor out of breath. Where is the chain? I bid you, let me see it.
My business cannot brook this dalliance. Good sir, say whether you'll answer me or no. If not, I'll leave him to the officer.
I answer you? What should I answer you?
The money that you owe me for the chain.
I owe you none till I receive the chain.
You know I gave it you half an hour since.
You gave me none. You wrong me much to say so.
You wrong me more, sir, in denying it. Consider how it stands upon my credit.
Well, officer, arrest him.
I do, and charge you in the Duke's name to obey me.
This touches me in reputation. Either consent to pay this sum, or I attach you by this officer.
Consent to pay thee that I never had? Arrest me, foolish fellow, if thou darest.
Here is thy fee. Arrest him, officer. I should not spare my brother in this case, if he should scorn me so apparently.
I do arrest you, sir. You hear the suit?
I do obey thee till I give thee bail. But, sirrah, you shall buy the sport as dear, as all the men in your shop will answer.
Sir, I shall have law in Ephesus. To your notorious shame, I doubt it not.
Master, there's a bark of Epidamnum that stays until her owner gets aboard, and then she bears away. Our frontage I have conveyed aboard. I bought the oil, the balsamum, and the aquavitae. The ship is in her trim. The merry wind blows fair from land. She stays not, but for her owner, sir, and yourself.
How now? A madman? Why, thou peevish sheep, what ship of Epidamnum stays for me?
A ship you sent me to hire waftage.
Thou drunken slave, I sent thee for a rope, and told thee to what purpose and what end.
You sent me to a rope's end as soon. You sent me to the bay, sir, for a bark.
I will debate this matter at more leisure, and teach thine ears to list me with more heed. To Adriana, villain, hie thee straight. Give her this key, and tell her, in the desk, that's covered over with Turkish tapestry, there is a purse of ducats. Let her send it. Tell her I have been arrested in the street, and that shall bail me. Hie thee, slave, be gone! On, officer, to prison till it come.
To Adriana? That is where we dine. Where Dulcibel did claim me for her husband. She is too big, I hope, for me to compass. Thither I go, although against my will. For servants must their masters' minds fulfill.
Ah, Luciana, did he tempt thee so? Might herself perceive our still in his eye, that he did plead in earnest? Yea or no? Looked he red or pale, or sadder merrily? What observation madest thou in his case, of his heart's meteors tilting in his face?
First, he denied in him you had no right.
He meant he did me none, the more my spite.
Then he swore that he was a stranger here.
True he swore, though he had first sworn he were.
Then I pleaded for you.
And what said he?
That love I begged for you, he begged of me.
With what persuasion did he tempt thy love?
With words that in an honest suit my move. First he did praise my beauty, then my speech.
Didst thou speak him fairly?
Have patience, I beseech.
I cannot, nor I will not hold me still. My tongue, though not my heart, shall have his will. He's deformed, crooked, old and sere, ill-faced, worse-bodied, shapeless everywhere. Vicious, ungentle, blunt, unkind, stigmatical in making, worse in mind.
Who would be jealous then of such a one? No evil lost is wailed when it is gone.
But I think it better than I say, and yet would hear in others' eyes were worse. Far from the lapping cries away, my heart prays for him, though my tongue do curse.
Here go the desk, the purse. Sweet, make haste.
How hast thou lost thy breath?
By running fast.
Where is thy master, Dromio? Is he well?
No, he's in Tartar limbo, worse than hell. A devil in an everlasting garment hath him, one whose hard heart is buttoned up with steel. A fiend, a fury, a pitiless and rough, a wolf, nay, a soldier all in buff, a back friend, a shoulder clapper, one that countermands the passages of alleys, creeks, and narrow lands, a hound that runs counter and yet draws dry foot well, he that before judgment carries poor souls to hell.
Why, man, what is the matter?
I know not what the matter. He is arrested on the case.
What? Is he arrested? Tell me, at her suit.
I know not at whose suit he is rested well, but he's in a suit of buff that rested him, that I can tell. Mistress, will you send him redemption, the money in his desk?
Go, fetch it, sister. This I wonder at, that he, unknown to me, should be in debt. Tell me, was he arrested on a band?
Not on a band, but on a stronger thing. A chain! A chain! Do you not hear it ring?
What, the chain?
No, the clock. 'Tis time that I were gone. 'Twas 2 ere I left him. Now the clock strikes 1.
The hours come back, that did I never hear.
Oh yes, if an hour meet a sergeant, it turn a back for very fear.
As if time were in debt, how fondly dost thou reason?
Time is a very bankrupt, and owes more than he's worth to season. Nay, he's a thief too. Have you not heard men say that time goes on stealing on by night and day? If time be in debt and in theft, hath he not reason to turn back an hour in the day?
Go, Dromio, here's the money. Bear it straight, and bring thy master home immediately. Come, sister, I am pressed down with conceit. Conceit my comfort and my injury.
There's not a man I meet but doth salute me, as if I were their well-acquainted friend. And everyone doth call me by my name. Some tender money to me. Some invite me. Some give me thanks for kindnesses. Some offer me commodities to buy. Even now, a tailor called me in his shop and showed me silks that he had bought for me, and therewithal took measure of my body. Oh, these are but imaginary wiles, and Lapland sorcerers do inhabit here.
Master, here's the gold you sent me for. What? Have you got the picture of old Adam new apparel?
What gold is this? What Adam dost thou mean?
Not the Adam that kept the paradise, but the one that keeps the prison. He that goes about in a calf skin that was killed for the prodigal. He that crept behind you like an evil angel and bid you forsake your liberty.
I understand thee not.
No? Why, 'tis a plain case. He that goes about like a bass viol in a case of leather. He that when gentlemen are tired, gives them a sob and rests them. He that takes pity on decayed men and gives them suits of durance. He that sets up his rest to do more with a mace than a Morris pike.
What, thou meanest an officer?
Aye, sir, the sergeant of the band. He that takes any man to answer it that breaks his band. One that thinks a man always going to bed and says to him, God give ye good rest.
Well, sir, there rest in your foolery. Is there any ship that puts out tonight? Can we be gone?
Why, sir, I sent you word an hour hence that the bark Expedition put forth tonight. It was then that you were hindered by the sergeant. Here are the angels that were sent to deliver you.
The fellow is distract, and so am I. And here we wander in illusions. Some blessed power deliver us from hence.
Well met, Master Antipholus. I see, sir, you have found the goldsmith now. Is this the chain you have promised me today?
Satan avoid! I charge thee, tempt me not!
Master, is this Mistress Satan?
It is the devil!
Nay, she is worse. She is the devil's dam. Here she comes, in the habit of a light wench. It is said they come to men as angels of the light. Light is an effect of fire. Fire will burn. Ergo, light wenches will burn. Master, come not near her.
Your man and you are marvelous merry, sir. Will you go with me? We'll mend our dinner here.
If you do, bespeak spoon meat, or else bespeak a long spoon.
Why, Dromio?
He must have a long spoon that must eat with the devil.
Avoid thou, fiend! What tellest thou me of supping? Thou art, as you all are, a sorceress! I conjure thee to leave me and be gone!
Give me the ring of mine you had at dinner, or for my diamond the chain you promised, and I'll be gone, sir, not trouble you.
Some devils ask but the parings of one's nails, a rush, a hair, a drop of blood, a pin, a nut, a cherry stone. But she, more covetous, would have a chain. Master, be wise, and if you give it her, the devil will shake her chain at us and fright us with it.
I pray you, sir, my ring or else a chain. I hope you don't mean to cheat me so.
Avaunt, thou witch! Come, Dromio, let us go!
Fly pride, says the peacock, mistress, that you know.
Now, out of doubt, Antipholus is mad, else he would never so demean himself. A ring he hath a mind with 40 ducats, and for the same he promised me a chain. Both one and the other he denies me now. The reason I gather he is mad, besides this present instance of his rage, is a mad tale he told today at dinner, of his own doors being shut against his entrance. Belike his wife, acquainted with his fits, shut the doors against his way. My way is now to hie home to his house, and tell his wife that, being lunatic, he'd rushed into my house, and took perforce my ring away. This course I fittest choose, for 40 ducats is too much to lose.
Fear me not, man. I'll not break away. I'll give thee, ere I leave thee, so much money to warn thee as I am rested for. My wife is in a wayward mood today, and will not lightly trust the messenger. That I should be attached in Ephesus, I tell you, 'twill sound harshly in her ears. Here comes my man. I think he brings the money. How now, sir? I be that I sent you for?
Here's that I warrant you will pay them all.
But where's the money?
Why, sir, I gave the money for the rope.
500 ducats, villain? For a rope?
I'll serve you, sir. 500 at the rate.
To what end did I bid thee hie thee home?
To a rope's end, sir. And to that end am I returned.
And to that end, sir, I will welcome you.
Good sir, be patient.
Nay, 'tis for me to be patient. I am in adversity.
Good now, hold thy tongue.
Nay, rather persuade him to hold his hands. Thou person, senseless villain!
I would I were senseless, sir, that I might not feel your blows.
Thou art sensible and nothing but blows, and so is an ass.
I am an ass indeed. You may prove it by my long ears. I have served him from the hour of my nativity to this instant, and am nothing at his hands for my service but blows. When I am cold, he heats me with beating. When I am warm, he cools me with beating. I am waked with it when I sleep, raised with it when I sit, driven out of doors with it when I go from home, welcomed home with it when I return. Nay, I bear it as a beggar wont her brat, and I think when he hath laid me, I shall beg with it from door to door.
Come, go along. My wife is coming yonder.
Mistress, respice fidem, respect your end, or rather, the prophecy like the parrot, beware the rope's end.
Wilt thou still talk?
What say you now? Is not your husband mad?
His incivility confirms no less. Good Dr. Pinch, you are a conjurer. Establish him in his true sense again, and I'll please you with what you will demand.
Alas, how fiery and how sharp he looks.
Mark how you have I see.
I'm not mad.
Oh, that you were not, poor distressed soul.
You, minion, you! Are these your customers? Did this companion with a saffron face revel and feasted at your house today, whilst upon me the guilty doors were shut, and I denied to enter in my house?
Oh, husband, God doth know you dined at home, where you would have remained till this time, free from these slanders and this open shame.
Dined at home? Thou villain, what sayest thou? Sir, sooth to say, you did not dine at home. Were not the doors shut, and I locked out? Perdy, your doors were locked, and you shut out. And did not she herself revile me there? Sans fable, she herself reviled you there. And did not I in rage depart from thence? In verity you did. My bones bear witness that since have felt the vigor of his rage.
Is it good to sue them in these contraries?
It is no shame. The fellow finds his vein, and yielding to him humours well his frenzy.
Thou wast suborned the goldsmith to arrest me.
Alas, I sent money to redeem you, by Dromio here, who came in haste for it.
Well, money? By me? Hearted goodwill you might, master, but not a rag of money. Wast thou not sent to her for a purse of ducats?
He came to me, and I delivered it.
And I am witness with her that she did.
God and the rope maker bear me witness that I was sent for nothing but a rope.
Mistress, both man and master is possessed. I can tell by their pale and deadly looks that we bound and laid in some dark room.
Say, wherefore dost thou lock me forth today, and why dost thou deny the bag of gold?
I did not, gentle husband, lock thee forth.
And I, gentle master, receive no gold. But I confess, sir, that we were locked out. Dissembling harlot, thou art false and all, and are confederate with a damned pack to make a lovely object scorn of me. But with these sounds, I'll put this false eye, let them behold in me the shameful spirit.
Dominic, the fiend is strong within him.
I mean how pale and wan he looks.
What now? Will you murder me? Thou jailer thou, I am thy prisoner. Will you let them suffer to make a rescue?
Masters, let him go. He is my prisoner. You shall not have him.
Go! Find this man, for he is guilty too.
What wilt thou do, thou peevish officer? Dost thou see delight to see a wretched man do outrage and displeasure to himself?
He is my prisoner. If I let him go, the debt he owes will be required of me.
I will discharge thee, ere I go from thee, and bear me forthwith unto his creditor. And knowing how the debt grows, I will pay it. Good master doctor, see him safe conveyed, home to my house, a most unhappy day.
Master, I am here entered in bond for you. Out on thee, villain! Wherefore dost thou mad me? Will you be bound for nothing? Be mad, good master! Cry, the devil!
God help poor souls, how idly do they talk.
Go, bear them hence. Sister, you go here with me. Say now, whose suit was he arrested at?
One Angelo, a goldsmith. Do you know him?
I know the man. What is the sum he owes?
200 ducats.
Say, how grows it due?
Due for a chain your husband had of him.
He did bespeak a chain, but had it not.
When as your husband, all enraged today, came to my house and took away my ring. The ring I saw upon his finger now. Straight after did I meet him with the chain.
It may be so, but I did never see it. Come, bring me to where the goldsmith is. I long to know the truth hereof at large.
Ah!
I feel the day is here. Round again.
Away! Don't kill us!
I see these witches are afraid of swords.
She that would be your wife now ran from you.
Come, to the centaur, to fetch our stuff from hence. I long that we were safe and sound aboard.
Faye, let us stay here this night. They will surely do us no harm. You saw, they speak us fair, give us gold. Methinks they are such a gentle nation that but for the mountain of mad flesh that lays claim to me, I could find it in my heart to stay here still and turn witch.
I will not stay tonight for all the town. Therefore, away to get our stuff aboard.
I am sorry, sir, that I have hindered you. But I protest, he has a chain of me. The most dishonestly he doth deny it.
How is the man esteemed here in the city?
A very reverend reputation, sir. Of credit infinite. Highly beloved. Second to none that lives here in the city. His word might bear my wealth at any time.
Speak softly. Yonder, as I think he comes.
'Tis so, and that self chain about his neck, which he forswore most monstrously to have. Good sir, draw near to me. I'll speak to him. Senor Antipholus, I wonder much that you would put me to shame and trouble, and not without some scandal to yourself, so deny this chain, which now you wear so openly. Besides the charge, the shame, and imprisonment, you have done wrong to this, my honest friend, who but for saying our controversy, had hoisted sail and put to sea today. This chain you had of me, can you deny it?
I think I had. I never did deny it.
Yes, that you did, sir, and forswore it too.
Who heard me to deny it or forswear it?
These ears are mine. Thou knowest they did. Vile thee, wretch, 'tis pity that thou livest to walk where any honest man resort.
Thou art a villain to impeach me thus. I'll prove mine honor and mine honesty against thee presently, if thou darest stand.
I dare to defy thee for a villain.
Oh, do not! For God's sake, he is mad! Some, get within him and take his sword away. Bind Dromio too. And bear them to my house.
Run, master, run! For God's sake, take a house! This is some priory. In or we are spoiled.
Be quiet, people! Wherefore throng you hither? To fetch my poor distracted husband. Let us come in, that we may bear him hence, and bear him home for help.
I knew he was not his perfect wits.
I am sorry now that I did drown him.
How long hath this possession held, man? This past week, he hath been heavy, sour, sad, and much different from the man he was. But till this afternoon, his passion near brake into extremity of rage. Having not lost much wealth by wreck of sea, buried some dear friend, hath not else his eye estrayed his affection and unlawful love, a sin prevailing much in youthful men, who give their eyes the liberty of gazing. Which of these sorrows is he subject to? To none of them, except it be, namely, the last, namely, some love that drew him off from home. For that you should have reprehended him. Why, so I did. Aye, but not rough enough. As roughly as my modesty would let me. Happily in private. And in assemblies too. Aye, but not enough. It was the copy of our conference. In bed he slept not for my urging it. At board he fed not for my urging it. Alone it was the subject of my theme. In company I often glanced it. But still did I tell him it was vile and bad. And thereof comes it that the man is mad. The venom clamors of a jealous woman. Poisons more deadly than a mad dog's tooth. It seemed his sleep was hindered by thy railing. And thereof comes it that his head is light. Thou sayest his meat was sauced with thy upbraidings. Unquiet meals make ill digestions. Thereof the raging fire of fever bred. And what's a fever but a fit of madness? Thou sayest his sport was hindered by thy brawls, sweet recreation barred. And what doth ensue but dull and moody melancholy, kinsman to grim and comfortless despair. And at her heels, a huge infectious troop of palest temperatures and foes to life, in food, in sport, in life-preserving rest, to be disturbed, would man or mad or beast, the consequences thus thy jealous fits have scared thy husband from the use of wits.
She never reprimanded him, but mildly, when he demeaned himself, rough, rude, and wildly. Why bear you these rebukes, and answers not?
She did betray me to my own reproof. Good people, enter it, and lay hold on him. No, not a creature enters in my house. Then let your servants bring again or lose my labor in assaying it. I will attend to my husband, be his nurse, die to sickness, for it is my office, and I have no returning by myself. Therefore, let me have him home with me.
Be patient, for I will not let him stir till I have used the approved means I have, with wholesome syrups, prayers, and drugs, till I will make of him a formal man again.
I will not hence leave my husband, and ill it doth beseem your holiness to separate the husband from the wife.
Be quiet and depart. Thou shalt not have him.
Complain unto the Duke of this indignity.
Come, I will fall prostrate at his feet, and never rise till my tears and prayers have won his grace over, to come in person hither, and take perforce my husband from the abbess.
By this, I think the dial points at 5. Anon, I'm sure the Duke himself in person comes this way to the melancholy vale, the place of death and sorry execution, behind the ditches of the abbey here.
Upon what cause?
To see a reverend Syracusian merchant, who put unluckily into this bay against the laws and statutes of this town, beheaded publicly for his offense.
See where they come. We will behold his death.
Kneel to the Duke before he pass the abbey.
If once again proclaim it publicly, if any man shall pay the sum for him, he shall not die. So much we tender him.
Justice, O most sacred Duke, against the abbess.
She is an honorable and virtuous lady. It cannot be that she hath done thee wrong.
May it please your grace, Antipholus, my husband, whom I made lord of me and all I had, at your important letters, this ill day, a most outrageous fit of madness took him, that desperately he hurried through the streets, and with his bondmen, all as mad as he, doing displeasure to the citizens, by rushing in their houses and bearing hence rings, jewels, anything his rage did like. Once did I get him bound and send him home, whilst to take order for the wrongs I went, that here and there his fury had committed. Anon I not watched by what strong escape, he broke loose from those who had guarded him, and with his mad attendant and himself, met us again, and madly bent on us, each with ireful passion, with drawn swords, chased us away, till reason of more aid we came again to bind them. And here they fled into this abbey here, and here the abbess shuts the gates on us, and will not suffer us to fetch him out. Therefore, most gracious Duke, with thy command, let him be brought forth and put hence for help.
Long since thy husband served me in my wars, and I to thee engaged the prince's word, and you did make him master of thy bed, to do him all the grace and good they could. Go, some of you, knock on the abbey gate. I will determine this before I stir.
Mistress, shift and shape yourself. My master and his men are broken loose, beaten the maids of Rome, bound the doctor whose beard they've singed off with brands of fire. And ever as it blazed, they threw upon him great pails of puddled mire so as to quench his hair. My master preaches patience to him, and the whilest man with scissors nicks him like a fool. And sure, unless he sends him present help, between them they will kill the conjurer.
Thy man and master here, and that is false thou dost report to us.
Mistress, upon my life I tell you true. I have not breathed almost since I did see it. He cries for you, and vows that if he ever did see you, he would scorch your face and disfigure you. Hark, I hear him, mistress, fly, be gone.
Come, stand by me. Fear nothing. Guard, Albert.
Hide me! It is my husband! Witness you that he is born about invisible. Even now we house him in the abbey here, and now he's there. Hast thought of human reason?
Justice! Justice, most gracious Duke, oh, grant me justice, even for the service that long since I did thee, when I bestood thee in the wars, and took deep scars to save thy life, even for the blood that then I lost for thee. Now grant me justice.
Unless the fear of death doth make me dote, I see my son Antipholus and Dromio.
Justice, sweet prince, against that woman there, she whom thou gavest to me to be my wife, that hath abused and dishonored me, even in the strength and height of injury. Beyond imagination is the wrong, that she this day hath shameless thorn on me.
Discover how, and thou shalt find me just.
This day, great Duke, she locked the doors upon me, while she, with harlots, feasted in my house.
A grievous fault. Say, when didst thou so?
No, my good lord. Myself, he and my sister did dine together, so befall my soul. And this is false thou dost burden off me withal.
Nay, look on day, nor sleep on night, for she tells your highness simple truth.
Oh,
neither disturbed with the effect of wine, nor heady rash, provoked with raging ire, albeit my wrongs might make one wiser mad. This woman locked me out this day from dinner. That goldsmith there, were he not packed with her, could witness it, for he then was with me, who parted with me to fetch a chain, promising to bring it to the porpentine. Our dinner done, and he not coming hither, I went out to seek him. In the street I met him, and in the company of that gentleman. There did that perjured goldsmith swear me down, saying that I, this day, of him received a chain, which God he knows I saw not. For the which he did arrest me with an officer. I did obey, and sent my peasant home for certain ducats. He, with none returned, then fairly I bespoke the officer to go with me in person to my house. By the way, we met my wife, her sister, and a rabble more of vile confederates. They brought one pinch, a hungry, lean-faced villain, a mere anatomy, a mountebank, a threadbare juggler, and a fortune-teller, a needy, hollow-eyed, sharp-looking wretch, a dead-looking man. This pernicious slave, forsooth, took on him as a conjurer, and gazing in mine eyes, feeling my pulse, and with no face, as 'twere out facing me, cried out, I was possessed. Then altogether they fell upon me, bound me, and bore me thence, and in a dark and dangerous vault at home, there left me and my man both bound together, till I, gnawing with my teeth, my bonds in sunder, I gained my freedom, and immediately ran hither to your grace, whom I beseech to give me ample satisfaction for these deep shames and great indignities.
My lord, in truth, thus far I witnessed with him, that he dined not at home, but was locked out.
But had he a chain of fear? No.
He had, my lord, and when he ran in here, these people saw the chain about his neck.
Besides, I'd swear these ears of mine heard you confess you had the chain of him, after you first forswore it on the mark. And thereupon, I drew my sword on you. And then, you fled into the abbey here, from whence, I think, you are come by miracle.
I never came within these abbey walls, nor didst thou ever draw thy sword on me. I never saw the chain, so help me heaven. And this is false, you burden me withal.
Why, what an intricate impeach is this? I think you all have drunk of Circe's cup. If here you housed him, here he would have been. If he were mad, he would not plead so coldly. You say he dined at home? The goldsmith here denies that saying. Sir, what say you?
Sir, he dined with her there, at the porpentine.
He did, and from my fingers snatched that ring.
'Tis true, my liege. This ring I had of her.
But sawest thou him enter at the abbey here?
I assure my liege, as do I see your grace.
Why, this is strange. Go, call the abbess hither. I think you all are mated or stark mad.
Most mighty Duke, vouchsafe me speak a word. Happy I see a friend will save my life, and pay the sum that may deliver me.
Speak freely, Syracusian, what thou wilt.
Is not your name, sir, called Antipholus? And is this not your bondman, Dromio?
Within this hour I was his bondman, sir. For lately I was bound like as you are now. But he, I think him, gnawed into my cords. Now am I Dromio, and his man unbound.
I'm sure both of you remember me.
Ourselves we do remember, sir, by you. For lately we were bound as you are now. You are not Pinch's patient, are you, sir?
Why look you strange on me? You know me well.
I never saw you in my life until now.
Oh, grief hath changed me since you saw me last, and careful hours with time's deformed hand have written strange the features of my face. But tell me yet, dost thou not know my voice?
Neither.
Dromio, go thou.
No, sir, nor I.
I'm sure thou dost.
I, sir, but I am sure I do not. And whatsoever a man denies, you are now bound to believe him.
O time's extremity, hast thou so cracked and split in my poor tongue, that here my only son knows not my feeble key of untuned cares, though yet my grained face be hid in sap-consuming winter's drizzled snow, and all the conduits of my blood froze up. Yet, My night of life hath some memory. My wasting lamps a fading glimmer left. My dull deaf ears a little used to hear. All these old witnesses I cannot dare. Tell me, thou art my son Antipholus.
I never saw my father in my life.
But 7 years hence, in Syracuse aboard, thou knowest we parted. But perhaps thou shamest to acknowledge me in misery.
The Duke, and all that know me in the city, can witness with me that it is not so. I ne'er saw Syracuse in my life.
I tell thee, Syracusian, 20 years have I been patron to Antipholus, in which time he ne'er saw Syracuse. I see thy age and dangers make thee dote.
Most mighty Duke, behold a man much wronged. I see 2 husbands. One by nice deceive me.
One of these men is genius to the other, and so of these. Which is the natural man? Which is the spirit? Who deciphers them?
I, Sir Andromio, command him away.
I, Sir Andromio, pray let me stay.
Aegeon, art thou not? Or else his ghost?
Oh, my old master, who hath bound him here?
Whoever bound him, I will lose his bonds and gain a husband by his liberty. Oh, if thou beest the same Aegeon, that had once had a wife called Amelia, that a burden bore thee 2 fair sons. Speak, old Aegeon, and speak to the same Amelia.
Of I dream not, thou art Amelia. Of thou art she. Tell me, where is the son that floated with thee on the fatal raft?
By men of Epidamnum, he and I and twin Dromio were all taken up. By and by, men of Corinth by force took Dromio and my son from them. What then became of them I cannot tell. I to this fortune that you see me in.
Why, here begins his morning story right. These 2 Antipholuses, these 2 so like, and these 2 Dromios, one in semblance. Beside her urging at her I could see, these are the parents to these children, which accidentally are met together. Antipholus, thou camest from Corinth first?
No, sir, not I. I came from Syracuse.
Stay, stand apart. I know not which is which.
I came from Corinth, my most gracious lord, and I with him, brought to this town by that most famous warrior, Duke Menaphon, your most renowned uncle.
Which one of you did dine with me today?
Aye, gentle mistress.
And are you not my husband?
No, I say nay to that.
And so do I, too. Yet did she call me so? And this fair gentlewoman, her sister here, did call me brother. What I told you then, I hope I shall have leisure to make good, if this be not a dream I see and hear.
That is the chain, sir, which you had of me.
I think it be, sir. I deny it not.
And you, sir, for that chain arrested me.
I think I did, sir. I deny it not.
I want your money, sir, to be your bail. By Dromio, but I think he brought it not.
No, none by me.
This purse of ducats I received from you, and Dromio, my man, did bring them me. I see we still did meet each other's man, and I was ta'en for him, and he for me. And thereupon these errors are arose.
Those ducats, pot I, for my father here.
It shall not need. Thy father hath his life.
Sir, I must have that diamond from you.
There, take it, and much thanks for my good cheer.
Renowned Duke, vouchsafe to take the pains to go with us into the abbey here, and here at large discourse all our fortunes, that all assembled here by the sympathized one day's air have suffered wrong.
Come, peace now. We'll go into the abbey and gather there, and there we will gossip and feast. After so much grief, such festivity.
With all my heart, I'll gossip at this feast.
Master, shall I fetch your stuff from shipboard?
Dromio, what stuff of mine hast thou embarked?
Your goods that lay host at the Centaur.
He speaks to me. I am your master, Dromio. Come, go with us. We'll look to that anon. Embrace thy brother there. Rejoice with him.
mentioned me today at dinner. She now shall be my sister, not my wife.
Methinks you are my glass and not my brother. I see by you that I am a sweet-faced youth. Will you walk in to see their gossiping?
Not I. You are my elder.
That's a question. How shall we try it?
We'll draw cuts for the senior. Till then, lead thou first.
Nay then, thus, we came into the world like brother and brother, and now let's go hand in hand, not one before the other.